but the way he's applied his mindset that's made him so successful anyway, I'm sure he's going to be incredibly successful in MMA as well.
I'm getting this right now, okay, that's not working, that's not working, that.
Worry about everything you're doing. So like when you create that much pressure that they have to defend everything, they're not thinking about getting out.
It's a huge asset to be strong in Jiu Jitsu, especially like isometrically, when we apply a choke, we apply pressure, that initial squeeze and being able to hold it is very beneficial. It stops the person on the bottom from moving, stops the person from escaping. So, like I said, his strength, not only just that, his leverage and his actual size is a huge benefit for Jiu Jitsu.
Push his whole shoulder, and then I put my hand underneath his lap.
Yeah.
See, like sometimes we can be a bit high, and he can use his chin to defend.
We knew with him coming in that he's like a strong guy. He's very big and tall, but the way he's transferred his strength from the functional gym and the normal bodybuilding scene essentially to Jiu-Jitsu has been like pretty amazing to see. To see somebody of that size moving really well, being able to do the moves, because sometimes you see someone that size, man, maybe they can't move that well, but he picked it up fairly easily, transferred his strength across, and I think if you ask most of his training partners how his strength is helping him, I'm sure they'll be able to tell you how it feels.
I've been training here since last February, so coming up to 12 months now. I mean, just the way he can utilise his size and his strength is just insane, and just having to be under that pressure and trying to put up with the different kinds of leverage that he's got and strength that he's got, it's quite a task in itself. the first time I was with Martyn, obviously I could instantly feel his strength, and now we've progressed further into his jiu-jitsu career. We're noticing how the pressure's absolutely changed. Whereas before, like I'd stand a chance of sort of being able to get out at times and being able to put up with it. Now it's got to a point where it's unbearable at times. It can be quite grueling. Yeah.
Oh. You're supposed to resist the first part as well.
I can't,
Stop being a pussy.
For me, this week versus last week, the weight distribution thing is, we did side control last week, and then again we've looked at it again today. I've rocked up, and the pressure difference and the weight distribution, rather than just is immensely more effective than last week. Like, it shocked me. So yeah, I mean, it's even a week has made huge progress. In all honesty, I mean, like when I first got asked to help out, I was like really looking forward to it, and I was nervous because he's such a big guy. I'm 6 foot myself, so I'm not exactly small, but obviously Martyn's a lot bigger. But if he carries on, it actually worries me how good he's going to be in like sort of 8 weeks' time. Even to think about sort of 12 weeks, if he progresses how he is now, it's frightening. I almost don't want to be training with him.
You understand why he can't hip escape when his head's trapped. You notice that from all positions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's reverse engineering. What does he need to do his thing? That's why it's good to feel it on the bottom, because you feel, what do I need to do to get out?
I was like,
and then you can't do it.
that's the lock in the legs.
Yeah, see. And then you just reverse it down.
Traditional strength training, probably not. Obviously, your compound lifts and your strength training is great. But I think he's already switched from, the bodybuilding look of, doing the t-shirt muscles essentially, and turning that into now functional strength, athletic strength. And like I said, if somebody of that size, that power that he has pre-existing, can switch that into jiu-jitsu and functional athletic strength, is going to be insane. Outside of this, obviously, you know, your deadlifts, bench press, squat, things like that, your compound movements are going to massively help with your strength for jiu-jitsu. But as well as that, isometric holds, something that my conditioning coach has added in with my program, and it really does transform your game. Being able to squeeze and hold for that initial 10 seconds while your partner's battling to get back to position or whatever they're doing, and then being able to outlast them while they battle is a huge benefit.
Game over. Fucking game over, lad.
I'm telling you, you're going to catch that from everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, when somebody like that comes into the gym, walks into the gym, you know, the 6'8", you know, huge guy, you think, man, how can, you know, they be able to function and do the moves? Because, you know, to move at that size and strength and that weight is obviously difficult. But the way he's took it on, the way he's been performing in training is like insane. Moves really well, he's light, he's agile, and to see somebody of that size and stature moving like that is obviously a scary prospect. Massively, massively. I don't think there's a martial art, in my opinion, as effective as Jiu-Jitsu and grappling is for MMA. You know, if you're a good grappler, nobody wants to take you down. If you can take somebody down and you can nullify their striking and their ground game, you're always going to be ahead. And like I said as well, training in the gi is something that we've been doing for the first half of this camp, and then the last half we're going to be looking at doing more no gi, because we can take away the tools, you know. Like when you're training in the uniform, there's a lot more tools you have that you don't have no gi. Then when we strip it back, and he can use his athleticism even more. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one. When we're approaching the fight, it will be a lot more rounds, so it'll be a lot more sparring, as many rounds as we can get in, work into that 5-minute round that is in MMA. A lot more wrestling, a lot more wall work, cage work. We'll be incorporating in that. Obviously, like I said, we'll be switching it up to the no-gi then as well, so it'll just be, you know, in our rash guard and shorts. I think whoever signs that contract is a very brave person, I really do. Like I said, you can look at it from the outside and you can see it as like, you know, he's just a big bodybuilder, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but the way he's applied his mindset that's made him so successful anyway, and turned that to jiu-jitsu, and it's other disciplines, whether it be striking, boxing, whatever, it's all mindset. So once he applies that success mindset into jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, whatever disciplines he chooses to use, I'm sure he's going to be incredibly successful in MMA as well.
I just couldn't breathe. Me too. Okay, as you can see, the difference between this type of training and training in the gym is huge. But the training that we are doing in the gym is so specific and so relatable to this work. It's essential that you make sure what you're doing outside of Jiu-Jitsu or MMA actually marries up to what you're doing inside the gym. And a lot of people know that I come from a fitness background. So for me, it was always extremely important that I was getting the right work done behind the scenes to allow me to really benefit from here. We've got about 8 months now until the fight, and this is genuinely is the starting point. So what we're going to achieve over the next 6 to 8 months is going to be interesting, it's going to be fun, it's going to be hard work, but I hope you enjoy the journey with me, and I hope you enjoy seeing the transition and the change.
Every individual sport has a need for the purpose of strength and conditioning. You need to be strong, powerful, and functional. These products were specifically formulated for the athlete that is after those ultimate performance results.